Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Thursday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralt. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMet. We're here every single morning, approaching our 1-year anniversary here on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by our title sponsor in BetMGM. All right, lots to get to. You can probably see by my face, I am pretty well sunburned. Out in the Vegas heat playing golf yesterday. I played with Dave, one of our owners for Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros, to have a celebratory round of golf. And you guys may or may not have seen this on my Twitter account this morning or yesterday morning when I made the announcement that we have agreed to another year deal to extend the Daily Juice podcast to re-sign, not resign, because grammar and me at 7 o'clock in the morning, that does not mix. So I apologize for some people that said, wait, what? Re-sign. That dash is very important. So I have re-upped another year for the Daily Juice podcast. We will hit our 1-year anniversary coming up on July the 7th. We will pass 2 million listens before we get to July the 7th. And it's been incredible. We have over 6,600 users on the Discord channel. We have made nearly 15,000 bets over the course of a year. And we're pretty much flat unit-wise. I think we're up. I think after last night, I think we're up like a half a unit or something over the course of an entire year, which is really incredible. Got a bunch of future wagers still going, obviously. We'll see how those pan out as we close up and wrap up the first full year of the Daily Juice podcast. But let me just say real quick here that I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. And when I tell you that my radio career and my broadcasting career, I have talked into the wide audience of not knowing who's listening for a long time. And radio is somewhat of a medium, in particular national radio can be a medium where you don't get a ton of feedback from people. Local radio, you get a lot of feedback, phone calls and whatnot. But national radio, which is what I've been doing now for about 7 years, it's different. And I love the community we have built. And you guys are the reason why this podcast will exist for another year. You guys are the reason why I get fired up every night to record this. And I owe a lot of this to you guys. The success of the Daily Juice is the people. It's you guys. It's the Discord channel. It's the Twitter interaction. It's everything we're doing every day. And I owe you a lot. And I want to say thank you for that. And I hope that you will continue to be along for the ride. I hope you will continue to recommend the Daily Juice to whoever likes sports gambling content and sports gambling podcasts. And I hope you'll welcome them into the Discord channel. And we've created this whole little ecosphere and community with our own standards and what we accept and don't accept. And it's just a lot of fun. And it was nothing. A year ago, it was nothing. And it feels like it's been longer than that. But we've got guys with handles that people recognize, who's good at this sport, who's good at that sport. And watching games and sweating games and talking about it every morning, every day. And the live Discord stage conversation is just another iteration where we can start to meet people who are part of this community and find out what they like and they don't like and talk about picks and plays and just doing what we're doing every single day. So the 1-year anniversary and combined with the announcement that we are going to continue this at least for one more year, and played golf today and had great conversations about what we're doing in the future. And I think everybody from Dan Harris on down with Betting Pros, we believe in this product. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in our mission to help to have a lot of fun and talk to gamblers and welcome new players in every single week who are in states who maybe never have gambled before, and bring them in and show them that the water is warm and we're welcoming, and we want to have it be part of their daily routine. And I think we have accomplished that. We're baby stepping this. We haven't started to really crawl yet. We're still kind of teetering on our feet, if you will, trying to turn into a little kid and start to walk and then run and then really start to do some cool things. So thank you. And, well, I'm super excited for the future. Really, really fired up and pumped up for the future. Okay, let's talk about last night. The Discord bet. Man, it falls to 5-7 because of JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee, blame him. Missing free throws, acting like he's Michael Jordan, jacking shots like crazy. We fell 1 point short of a push. We fell one basket short of a cover. 222 was the number. It ended at 2-21. Yuck. I would have loved that because I would have gone 2-2, overall 3-3. I had the Red Sox on the money line that missed, but I did bet the Dodgers and the Pirates, yes, for a run in the first inning, and both teams scored. So that was nice. We got that right. I got that right. So it was 1-1 personal, 1-2 overall. And then, unfortunately, like the Discord bet goes 1-3. So it was a losing day for the podcast. 1-2 officially is what we go because of the Bruins. My Boston Bruins did not show up. Tuukka Rask did not show up. New York Islanders, tip of a cap. They outplayed the Bruins. They were the better team. They deserved it more. Boston just did not execute, and they played really poorly in really big moments. And Tuukka Rask played poorly in really big moments. And so, what was that? 6-2 was the final. Like 8 goals got lit up in a 5.5 underplay. But some of you listen, because once that some books dropped it to 5, and you fired on the over. I'm telling you. 5, you see 5, fire on the over. Just do it. It's working. I haven't really been keeping track, but it's hitting way more often than not. Okay, and if in these playoffs, if the books drop to 5 and you have access to that book, fire on it and bet the over 5. It hit again last night, so that was wrong. And then we got the Padres run line. They lost 3-1 to the Cubs. Yuck. I thought they'd score a ton of runs. Day game, Jake Arrieta pitched really well. That stunk. So I misread that. Arrieta, going back like 5 years ago, looked pretty good. So we got that wrong. So overall, a 1-2 personal day, a 0-1 on the Discord bet. We don't count those for my official record, but the Discord bet does go to 5-7 now officially for the podcast. Okay, so before I give you the picks and the plays coming up, we got 3 of them going for you guys here coming up tonight. Let me tell you about a sponsor of this great podcast and our thanks for their interest in the podcast. It's Betcha. They're back again with another offer for you guys where predicting games will never be the same with Betcha. You make simple player prop picks, you win cash, you earn bonuses, payout boosts for playing the same game as your friends, and you climb up the leaderboard to earn respect. You guys know how prop bets work. You follow your friends, you follow experts to see what picks they're making from the prop market. You can either fade or follow. There's no risk to try this out. Your first $5 in credits are on the house. You download Betcha now. Use the promo code DailyJuice. Promo code DailyJuice for a deposit match of up to $50 and $5 in Betcha credits with Betcha. Check it out. No salary caps, lineups. Need to spend hours doing it. It is a chance to get involved with prop betting and make money on prop bets. If you know the answer, you can hop on with Betcha. Download it today. Daily Juice, the promo code for a deposit match of $50 and $5 in Betcha credits. Okay, let's talk about the Vegas game tonight. So there is some game theory I'm going at this with, okay? So if Vegas wins, we cash a 165 bet. We can't hedge off that until Game 7. Because of that reason, because we can't hedge off it until Game 7, I'm betting Vegas today to win and close the series out. Okay? So it's a half a unit at plus 165. I'm going to bet a half a unit at minus 133 for Vegas. I do think they win this game. But if they don't, they go back to Colorado for Game 7, which we will then bet on Colorado to win back the initial wager with Vegas, if that makes any sense. So we can't hedge. I can't hedge off that until we get to Game 7. So we might as well just bet Vegas here today and see if we can double dip, okay? You might say, well, why don't you just bet Colorado, Matt? Well, I think Vegas wins. So I think there's a chance to jump in here. You're getting the team that has played much better over the last 4 games. They've won 3 games in a row. I totally get it. Winning 4 games in a row against Colorado is going to be really hard, but they don't look like the same team. The Avalanche look like they're searching, and they don't really know what's going to happen, and everyone's like, oh, they're fine, they're going home. I don't know. Vegas with Marc-Andre Fleury, I think this could be a high-scoring game. It could be a low-scoring game. I don't really know. I just know the energy in the building is going to be insane. Full house. Vegas is 2-0 at home with a sold-out crowd. I'm expecting them to go to 3-0 with the sold-out crowd. This is why we bet them to win the Cup at plus 550, because of the home atmosphere at T-Mobile Arena. And I expect Vegas to be flying. Do I think we could see some penalties? Maybe. Do the folks at the NHL, do they want a Game 7? Probably. But if Marc-Andre Fleury plays the way he's capable of and Vegas wins this series, you go back to game 1 and Pete DeBoer giving Marc-Andre Fleury 4 days off before he played in game 2. What a move if this game winds up being a victory for Vegas. So, again, we're betting Vegas tonight on the money line at minus 133. And if Vegas loses, we'll come back and bet Colorado in game number 7 to make sure that we're going to hedge off of the wager that we got going on for the plus 165 bet on Vegas to win the series. So that's how I'm going to play this. That's how I'm approaching this. It's not really a breakdown as much as it's a, well, let's just double dip, and if we're wrong, we can come back and make up that money coming up on the other side with Vegas if they do end up losing, and we have that bet for them to win the series with a Game 7. So technically, we already have a Game 7 moneyline bet waiting there for us at plus 165, which is pretty good odds. Probably better odds that we will get for Vegas and Colorado if they do end up playing Game 7 coming up on Saturday afternoon. Interesting start time there. Afternoon game. 4:30, I think, West Coast time. 5:30, I think, Mountain time for that game on Saturday if we do play Game 7, but I don't think we're getting there. Vegas minus 133. Okay. We have not bet this officially yet. Cold Brewster on the Discord channel has been on this for a long time. I've bet this the last 2 days. I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to test it out. Pirates, yes, run in the first inning. It is 40-20 on the year. It's pretty good. The Pirates are either scoring or they are giving up runs 40 out of 60 games. That's not a small sample size. Okay, that's a pretty good sample size if you want to go and say, it's kind of fluky. It's not really a solid. It is a solid trend. All right, this is a really good, solid trend. And this is the end of a 4-game series. This is a early start time. That is the only worry here. Okay, it is a 9:35 Pacific time start. It is a 12:35 Eastern time start. So in Pittsburgh, early start time for the LA Dodgers. Little concern there. However, Mitch Keller is horrible. 3-6 with a 6.65 ERA. He's also 9-2 in first inning runs. Okay, 11 starts. He's given up a run in the first inning 9 times. It's pretty good. This is a good spot. The only fear is the start time, but maybe the pitcher will be asleep as well. Okay, get a solo home run, get something, get a run scored in the first inning. Julio Urias is a really good pitcher for the Dodgers, so it's probably going to have to be the Dodger lineup scoring against Mitch Keller, which hopefully that happens. We're going to go a half a unit here. All right, this is tough. This is a little bit of a quick one, okay? But I'm going to bet a half a unit on first inning, yes, for a run, minus 110. BetMGM's got this at minus 110. Yes, run in the first inning for the Pirates and the Dodgers, 40-20. We might ride this for a little bit just to see how it goes. Pittsburgh goes on the road to Milwaukee tomorrow. If this misses, I may come back and bet it again and have it be an official play for a couple of days. I don't think this can be a one-off. I don't think, because it's such a quick bet, I don't think you can just be like, forget it. You bet it once. If it doesn't hit, we're off of it. I think we may have to be on it for a little bit just to get a proper sample size here. Maybe we'll play it throughout the weekend. Remember back during the bubble? When did I do this? Or it was like I was betting Moneyline NHL and Moneyline NBA. And we just bet it for like 3 or 4 days in a row, just straight. It wasn't official plays, but we just bet it. I've now bet this for 2 straight days. I'll make this official at least for today, maybe for tomorrow as well, just to see how far we can ride this and how long. And if the books start to pay attention to this, 40-20 is not a small sample size. Okay, it's a really big sample size. It's 60 games. You can feel pretty good about this. So I think Cold Brewster has found himself a pretty cool stat that I don't think a lot of people are on. I haven't seen many people in the sports gambling media talk about this. And normally a stat like this, like in the bubble, it was the under in first period goals got very popular. And then third period goals got very popular. So, once it gets to 40-20, that's pretty impressive. That's a pretty good number of times cashing. So we're going, yes, run in the first inning, minus 110 for the Pirates and the Dodgers. And one more bet to come back with, and it's the Nets and the Bucks. I'm going to go against all the trends here with this. The over for Milwaukee this year, 43, 34, and 1. At home, Milwaukee, 23 and 15 to the over. The Brooklyn Nets, 43 and 36 to the over. Okay? 43 and 36 to the over. Two and 3 in the last 5, 5 and 5 over the last 10. 4 and 6 for Milwaukee over the last 10. On the road, the Brooklyn Nets, 22 and 16. So we got a 23 and 15 Milwaukee team at home, 22 and 16 team to the over for the Brooklyn Nets. The total is 234. It's coming down. Opened up at 235 and a half. Already dropped down. Much like last night, right? Last night, the under hit because the first move from 222 and a half for the Suns and the Nuggets, it ended up coming in at 221, like we talked about at the start of the podcast. 221. I am betting the over here. I think the only way Milwaukee can be in this series is to get into a shootout. The two games that happened on May 2nd and 4th on the road at Milwaukee, 242 and 243. It went under by 11 and under by 1. If we get a 124-118 game, we're golden, okay? For having a 234 total, that's the type of game I'm expecting here. Up-tempo, I'm expecting the role players to shoot a lot better from Milwaukee. I expect we're going to see up-tempo all over the place. First game total was 239.5. It went under by 17 points, 17.5 points. Game 2 was 238.5. It went under by 27.5 points. So I am bucking the trend here a little bit. The last 3 games for the Brooklyn Nets, last game against Boston, first 2 against Milwaukee, all at home, have all gone under. However, the road games against Boston, over the last 2, over by 16.5, over by 38 points with totals of 227.5 and 229. I think Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant are going to have to score a lot because I think Giannis comes out on fire, home crowd behind him. Everyone plays better at home. They just score more. They play better. They shoot better. I expect Milwaukee to score at least 115 points coming up tonight, and that means Brooklyn's going to get after it as well. I can see like a 125, 120 type of win for the Milwaukee Bucks. It comes in at 240. We clear the 234. I'm going to bet a half a unit here on Brooklyn and Milwaukee over 234 here tonight against all of the numbers, but probably with the public. Even though the pros have come in here and to give us a little bit of a better number, they bet under 235.5. We're going over 234 here for Brooklyn and Milwaukee. All right, so those are our 3 plays. I will have player props. There are 2 NBA games coming up, Clippers in Utah, Brooklyn and Milwaukee. I'm going to watch this, okay? Because game 2, I don't know. I'll probably have an in-game bet on the Clippers in Utah, but I don't. The Clippers played pretty poorly in the second half. Utah played horribly in the first half. I don't have a great feel for this series at the moment. I want to watch a game just to kind of see. I would lean Utah, and I think if it gets to a point where, if the line continues to come down, if it's 2 or 1, I probably will jump on Utah if we're getting a pick. But I want to do an in-game wager here. I want to watch the game a little bit. But player props can be available because we have 2 games, Brooklyn at Milwaukee and the Clippers at Utah. So 2 games, so enough players to pick from a prop bet perspective. So I will have 2 player props going coming up tonight here in the NBA for you guys on the Discord channel. All that information is underneath me on YouTube, or you guys can go to bettingpros.com/chat, bettingpros.com/chat to get into it. Okay, so to recap, we're going Vegas money line -133, yes to a run in the first inning, Pirates Dodgers at -110, and over for the Nets and the Bucks at 234 at -110 for our 3 plays, all half a unit coming up for Thursday's Daily Juice podcast. My name is Matt Peralta. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning is the Daily Juice podcast right here on bettingpros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.